Hey there. So, gear update, or I guess class update, so I'm like, what, 93.5? Well, gear hasn't changed much. I'm using a +1 regalia, some okay ring. Ammo is the same, the boots are still the same, gloves are the same, belt is, I think this is the same setup. So now I actually have the Glacial Cascade and the Nova on the stick link, which is nice, with conk effect. I actually killed Chimera yesterday, and I completely destroyed it, and my setup is like far from optimal. I also dropped Wall Pact, and instead I just get a bit more life. You can sometimes, like, if you're finding syndicates in like these 16 maps, you can kind of see the loss of Wall Pact when your focus is not up. But overall, it's honestly, it's been kind of okay. I think I'm probably being saved by these extra 3 skill points a couple times, because it's like almost 300 life, right? But yeah, right now I think I'm just gonna keep this character on hold. I don't really. I kind of want to play it, but I want to respec it. So I talked about the EE setup in the previous video when I was showcasing like this a bit. So let me just bring up my POP here. So I did quite a bit of POPing, and I actually ended up thinking that, or coming to the conclusion that I would end game and want to go MoM with the EE setup. There's a couple reasons. I'll get more. I basically get more gem slots because I would drop Arctic Armor, I would drop Hatred, and I would get the 3 extra sockets from here, which would allow me to set up a pseudo 5-link helm for Vortex. So since Vortex is an instant skill, and when you use it on an Ice Nova, Frostbolt, you don't get the cooldown, right? So you can actually spam the Vortex a lot, and with a pseudo 5-link Vortex, where are you? No, not there. Here. It actually does a decent amount of damage. It's like Vortex, and this is with Bone Chill, Conk Effect, Ellie Focus, and then just Hypothermia, right? And going MoM, I would also get a Claw. You get a lot of attack speed, you get the life gain and mana gain on hit, which is nice. This is like an over 10k effective HP pool. You could drop some mana and go and pick an aspect of the cat or spider, but I would probably end up just not using it. So yeah, this is obviously Meeks setup, and this setup here has Acuities. So you save the points here, and it allows you to go here. This is technically a 1-point jewel when you consider it, because if you look at the pathing, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1, 2, 3. Assuming that if we were to go here, regardless of the pathing, in that case, this is that's like 1-point jewel. You don't necessarily need the crit chance from here, but it's nice. You don't need it though. You could slap somewhere like here and take like another life node if you wanted to, something like that. But honestly, the more crit, the better, pretty much. I mean, I've mentioned once you get to like 90%, after that you don't really need to like invest into it anymore. But yeah. So other than that, the skill tree is pretty much the equal. I just swapped this one, like this routing, into here. and then drop this. So, and instead of using Furrows, I would get a Lore Weave. Now, obviously, this is the gear here is pretty minimaxed. Like I have like 3 prop damage tools with resistances on them. The last flask slot could be Wise Oak or Dying Sun. I would probably, or Life Flask, of course. I would personally probably go Dying Sun because it would add extra 2 projectiles for your Frostbolt, which would allow you to spam the Vortex while you're cycloning. It's like it's pretty decent single target damage. Like if you look at here, so we have Frostbolt hitting like 140k. We have the Ice Nova hitting 140k. But if you don't hit fast enough, you know, when you apply the Ice Nova twice, if you have multiple projectiles, the second Ice Nova could hit against EE, but it's still gonna be like almost 90k. So it's pretty big. Pretty big DPS regardless, and then you could spam the Vortex, but the Vortex consumes the Frostbolts. So that's why I'm thinking you might either use a Dying Sun or slap in another Frostbolt tool. But that would require you to probably get some more resistance on your tool, because I have resist, and actually this doesn't have resist, but yeah. So this is basically just the theory that what I would like to do endgame. So of course, Mark Shaper, we have Wireless Mark Ring. Now that we don't have Asmark from a ring or Aspect of the Cat giving us frenzy and power charges, what I do instead is get minimum power charges on ring and an amulet. Well, you could actually, I guess you could get a only one, because dropping one charge here. Oh, wait, actually, I think I need to remove it. Is still like almost 90%, right? So it's still really nice. And the boots are nutty. That is actually the boots that I would be able to make myself. So I have a temple boots, right? What I would want to do with this is split them using a Beast recipe to make them into a blue one socket. I have blue one mod boot, so you have the 1 speed plus the dodge. And then you imprint using the Beast, and then you regal. If the regal hits like a really nice life roll, well, you keep it. If it doesn't, then you annul it in hopes of getting a 1 mod rare with the movement speed and dodge. And then you'd multi-mod the boots into boots like this. So you have life, you have Canopy Frozen, which is a prefix. You have Onslaught during Soul Game Prevention, which I'll come in a second. It was basically a permanent onslaught during boss fights. The 56%, I think it's like 50 to 60% damage during Soul Game Prevention. Those two are suffixes, and then you have the crafted mods. So the boots are actually like absolutely insane with multi-mod. And that would allow us to drop a flask suffix and get crit chance, or basalt, for example. I like having Curse Immune on Diamond because of the long duration and like the small, well, it's shorter duration than basalt, but it has easier use because of the charges, right? And then of course we have other Quicksilver. So yeah, the last flask is kind of whatever you want to do, but I would definitely keep using Archery's Promise. It's a really nice flask, but I mean you could technically drop it for Wise Oak as well. I don't have my resistances done right now, so it's hard to say how much it would actually add, but especially if you have like a pen boots. Oh, and speaking of the enchant, there's actually a lot of good enchants you can have on your boots. Since we are MOM, we only have Valpax when we have crit recently. So when you're moving, then you actually have regen. So the regen enchant is actually a decent option, and it would give you 2% mana regen, which is really strong. We have chance to avoid being stunned. Well, that's kind of nice for mapping. There's a chance to dodge spell hits. Well, we are 52.30 right now. So that would be not 58, 52.38. It's pretty nice. There's a generic leech, which is really strong. There's attack dodge. There's the pen. There's just overall a lot. Sadly you can't take the add cold damage if you've been hit recently, because that would kind of fuck up our EE. And the EE is, well, you can get it from a jewel. You could have it as a one mod on like ring instead of having like the 19% increased damage here. I could instead have the flat fire damage and then get a like drop the fire damage to claw attacks here and get something else, for example. But yeah, it's not like completely min max because like a lot of my gear are like here. This is a multi mod. This is a multi mod. That's a multi mod. Multi mod, and this is basically how you would craft this. It would just like alt regal into a, or I guess you could do, yeah, you would do alt regal into the life. You would remove the other mod, and then it would just multi mod. That's it. That's how would you craft this, and then you get Jorging Boy in research to rank 2, and then you hope that you get something good. I have a crit multi here, but you could also get oh my god, it doesn't show the tier, but you could also get crit chance. Actually, wait, I can show it like this. There's a crit chance, there's maximum life, which is pretty strong. Right, so here's tier 2s, right? These are actually really damn strong for survivability. Like if you get cold damage as fire or lightning instead, that is like insane for Shaper and Uber Elder. Global defenses, well, not really. Unless you were a build that could also benefit from ES, but we can't craft it life, so it doesn't do anything. Up to 12% life. That's really naughty. 50% global crit would allow you to drop one of the power charge suffixes if you really wanted to for something else. You could craft resist or something like that. That's useless for us. Life reaching kind of useless. That's kind of useless. And then you have the crit multi. But there's actually a decent amount of good T2 talismans. There's decent tier 3s as well. I mean, that's pretty nice. That's kind of useless. Then we have the generic damage, we have quantity, we have gain. I mean, this would be nice if you were using Glacial Cascade setup, but we are not. And then attributes. So T2 is definitely better than T3 for this. Yeah, other than that, life, mana resist, there's like hinder, because I guess why not? There's you want one onslaught jewel, in my opinion, even though you have the onslaught crafted on boots, you get like blind. There's a lot of you can tinker around with this idea and setup, and like, oh shit, like good luck getting all this gear. Well, you can actually kinda make this work even without, I mean, well, you can make this work. This is like still like twice the amount of damage than my current build right now. So you can just lap some 3 prop jewels like life, attack speed, damage. Boom, go. And instead of doing this, you just have this old pathing here. You can take that if you want for movement speed. And then you just do this, right? And you take the attack speed and 80% crit chance. So this is like what? This is like 190%. This is 90% crit chance versus 80% and 3% attack speed. So if this was a 3-point cluster from here, this would actually be better than the class of the Falcon for the most time. So yeah, everything else is the exact same. You flip around. Instead of taking these 3 nodes in here, you just go all around all the way here, take the crit multi, and you just go all back. You don't actually need this. Like right now, my build would look like this instead. Because you don't absolutely need it, but it's a really strong one. And if you don't have the amulet, don't take it. I don't know why I have Acuities in this setup. You would use like, there's a couple different options you could use. Obviously, just the rare gloves are really strong. You can get the damage while leeching like I have right now. Like sit like this, it's just nice. You could use the Abyss gloves. I don't know why I don't remember the name of the gloves. They're somewhere here. No, not here. Some teasers of what I'm working on now. They are somewhere here. Yeah, here. Tomb Fist, yeah. So you could actually get another Abyss socket, attack speed. You could maim with this, so it would actually slow the monsters a lot. But yeah. So this is kind of what I want to respec the build into before I continue playing with the build too much. You would not have the +1 lore weave obviously, but just get a lore weave. But I would need to craft the claw first. Something else. I don't actually have the vortex set up here because I was just lazy and didn't include it, but I would have used the exact same vortex helm than I have on the other BOB. I'll actually link both of the BOBs on the description, of course. And yeah, it's basically the same shit. You don't again need Vice Oak. You can use Dying Sun, you can use Life Flask. Life Flask is never a bad idea, so yeah. So that's that. And now let's talk about a bit of the build I started leveling. I actually died while leveling with this build. But yeah, so I'm leveling, well, I'm not a Necro yet, because I'm not gonna be a Necro either. Because I'm going to be a Occultist. And the idea here is to go Occultist with Tukohamas. So this here is, I don't know if I actually remember if all my sets are here done properly. Ignited, EE, 84, max stage. Yep. So this is with multiple totems. So if we remove the multiple totems, this is the damage per totem. We would have 4 specters. And this is Shaper DB, so that's like almost 1 million, right? But you're slapping that in there. Oh wait, we don't have the that's explained. So you would probably use totem resist because it makes them it just makes the minions basically cap resist. So you would just use that, right? So that's the damage per totem, and we have 4 specters. Every time they cast a totem, they summon the totem, they actually summon 2. So 1 specter is basically 500 DPS, like 500k DPS for Shaper. And sometimes they can actually get 3 as well. So if one of the totem dies, they cast another one. So when the cooldown of the summoning totem, I don't remember how long it is, they'll just cast another. So sometimes like for a short duration, they have 3 totems. So it's actually a bit more than this as well. Like a bit more than the 500k. So that's basically like 2 mil Shaper DPS right there. With having almost 11k ES with Wismortis. Now, my gear here isn't exactly optimized yet. So basically this would be just a dense crafted shield. This is like a 3-mod shield now. So you have the flat ES percentage and then you would have the percentage suffix from the dense fossil. This is actually just the 2-mod, right? This is missing the dense mod. Same here. Oh yeah, here this is one thing one of the reasons why I wanted to pull this is you have minions record 100% of their life when you focus. So focus is a 12-second cooldown skill. So if your minions can survive 12 seconds, you can actually lower the cooldown with boots and beltcraft, but if your specters can survive for 12 seconds, you can just insta-heal them back to full life. Now obviously you can move them with Convocation, and while we are Occultist, so we don't have the nice cooldown recovery speed for Convocation, but if you do craft like even like the belt mod, it helps because it also helps with the focus. And we are just basically a PI build. We get the curses. We use like a Dying Breath, Animate Guardian. Oh yeah, Animate Guardian like damage is not even calculated here. You use like a -9 fire resist helm, and you get a bit of extra damage from the dying breath as well. And I don't even know if this 3 is what I would end up being. Like, I don't know if I necessarily need these life nodes. It's like one extra KHP to them. It's like, you know, it's a bit less life on the minions than if you were Necro, and it's a bit less DPS, but they do such an absurd amount of damage, so I don't think you need to do Necro with this. This is obviously not a clear speed build. I might try Aracali's Fang for clearing, because you get the spiders, right, that they might help it clear with. And you would get the explosions from them. But yeah, so the setup is basically just get the Spectre. Oh, sorry about that. Animate Guardian, you don't necessarily need Deco Totem, but just link it with like Minion and Minion Totem resist, so Deco Totem is actually really tanky, especially if it's like level 21. Minion life is basically a mandatory link for Animate Guardian, in my opinion, especially for this build. That is not a... So it has a lot of life, but yeah. Combustion is actually a lot of damage. There's a couple different ways you can get it. Like you could link Combustion to the Aracali's Fang Spider, for example, and give them some, you know, fire damage from a Jewel, for example. But this is a quite a bit of extra damage. So what I'm planning to use is just Flame Coil with Combustion, so it ignites and the monsters lose resistance, right? Blasphemy, Enfeeble, Tempt Chains, and of course just Discipline there. Curse on hit is either Flammability or Despair. They're, for the Tukohamas, they're pretty much the exact same DPS. But if you're using the spiders, then Despair, because it adds the chaos damage, right? But yeah, slapping Flammability there or Despair doesn't really matter. Stormbringer, because it's just so damn nice now. Just like random flame dash, like offering. This should actually be flesh offering, but gives a bit of extra cast speed to your minions. I don't know why this is a weapon. And then probably just run a Vigilance Strike, Ancestral Call 2-link, because you have some attack speed scaling. You could debate dropping these, but the gas, I think the gas speed is very important for the Tukohamas. So you get the max stages up for them fast. But yeah, you get the attack speed here, you get the attack speed there, here. You get a tiny bit of attack speed there. Well, 8%. You could get here if you really wanted to. So I don't think hitting with the weapon is an issue, especially if you get an attack speed roll on your weapon as well. Yeah. The gear is pretty basic, like just slapping some ES rolls. They're like missing resistances. There's no dense mods on your rings or anything like that. Yeah. Basically, this is just a very tanky boss killer, I feel like. And you don't necessarily even need to use a Bismortis. I think you can just go with like an Energy Shield Chest and like 12k ES. There's probably, honestly, this can probably go to like 15k, I think. Probably. Somewhat easy. You slap a energy from within here and suddenly you get ES from here. You could potentially put the energy from within here, grab all of that, and there's a lot of ES you can take. I have ES missing there, there's some ES there. There's a jewel there, which is nice. There's a mana jewel there. There's a lot of things you can change on this. But yeah, this is what I kind of want to do now. Sadly, I won't be able to play this much because on the, well, tomorrow, POD has a ladder reset, which I have a video where I'm just like looking over at the patch notes. Yeah, so there's that, and I'm gonna be playing that for like probably like a week, I think. And I really want to check out Last Epoch. They had a new patch. If you don't know what Last Epoch is, it's a basically just like a, I'm just gonna say POE clone for the sake of easy understanding. but completely like different like crafting system and everything like that, and it's like an early alpha game at the moment. But it's a pretty promising game, and I might even like make a couple videos where I'm just like showcasing the mechanics of the game and shit like that. I think you guys want to see. I'm really expecting a lot from the game. From what I've talked with the devs, they have like a Discord where they're really active and all that. Yeah, that's what's been up to with us for now. Got some pretty decent lucky elder drops lately. I think I've actually like have like 4 Shimmerons. I have like 3 different impresences, and well, yeah. Want to buy the vial so we can upgrade this into the really nice shield as well. Yeah, there's still a lot of things for me to do in PoE. What's my challenges? I'm only like 27 challenges, and I really want to get at least 36 challenges. I mean, there's a lot of easy ones still that I'm missing. There's like whatever. It's pretty easy. Like, I think I get to like 30 like super easily. Well, yeah. And if I guess if somebody is struggling with the Atlas objectives, what you can do is you can level a character to maps in all of the 4 leagues, like missing like private leagues. So like both of the like solo self-found, hardcore, softcore, then trade leagues, and you basically get like 16 objectives just by logging in every day and doing like those maps. So that is a lot. That's a lot. Like the challenge completion, if you don't have much time and you still want to do it. But yeah, I don't think this league's challenges are particularly hard. Yeah. Oh yeah, another reason why I want to do Occultist is we might get Mana Guardian back. Speaking of the Elder drops, we finally found Memory Vault. I don't know how many Elders I've done or like killed like Guardians. The items are like extremely rare now, I feel like. Yeah, and apparently we have 3 Milners as well. Yeah. Hopefully we get the Mana Guardian going, so we can push some Delve, so go do some easy Uber Elders. Get the Mark of the Shaper, I think, yeah, the ring for the Gaston Grit and all that. Oh, and speaking of the Gaston Grit, I actually have 2 items that I need to Beast Imprint. I have a ring as well. I've actually failed the Annul 3 times now already. I've removed the Asmark 3 times. But yeah, I guess if I'm eventually respeccing out of the current setup into the EE setup, and then I actually need to get Warlord's Mark Ring instead of this. But regardless, I feel like this ring should be, you know, made into a multi-unit ring anyways, because there's so many other people who can use it, and somebody else wants to make a Gaston Grid or something like that, so it's really nice. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the update now. Oh god, that was a long video, but yeah, at least I talked about the Gaston Grid that I want to do, or like respec into, even though the current build is also working just fine and probably has no issues with Shaper. But yeah. I'm gonna keep the POBs for the 2 builds, the non-Meeks setup, non-Wallback, you know, and a non-Acuities setup, and then the Occultist POBs if you want to tinker around with it. But I think it's gonna be just fine.